dirty bulking, lads. You see it all online. You know, you've got to do this crazy bulk when you start off at the gym. You've got to go into this crazy dirty bulk. Start dirty bulking. Everyone says it, guys. The bodybuilders, all the YouTubers. No, guys. No. Alright? Just ignore anyone that says that. There is never an excuse to be dirty bulking. You know, stuff in your face, overeating. Never an excuse, guys. You're going to feel like shit. You're going to look like shit. You're going to have saggy tits. You're going to have rolls. You're going to have love handles. Puffy face. All of it, guys. I've done it time and time again. And yeah, it's very demotivating, guys. It's very demotivating when you look at yourself and you feel like complete shit. It's going to mess up your mental health, alright? Do not dirty bulk, whatever you do. So I'm going to run you through a few things that ensures you just don't do this phase, right? You need to skim over this phase. Don't listen to anyone that's telling you to do it. Yeah, you want to be looking good. You want to be feeling good all year round. You want to have high energy. And yeah, guys, unless you're like some crazy bodybuilder, you know, going into this bodybuilding prep, whatever, there's just no excuse, guys. There really is an excuse. The first things first, you want to be assessing your current situation right now, all right? Are you sub 10% body fat? I really look down at yourself right now and ask yourself the question, are you sub 10% body fat? If the answer is no, then you don't want to be going into a bulking phase, all right? It's that simple. You know, maybe if you're starting brand new off at the gym, you're in this skinny fat physique, then you might get away with it. But if you've been going to the gym, guys, and you literally see no results across the last few years, whatever, like, you don't want to be bulking, guys. I'm telling you now, I've tried this. You know, starting at 15, 20% body fat, and I'm just packing fat upon fat. And it's going to be very demotivating, all right? It's going to be very depressing when you look down at yourself, when you look in the mirror and your face is all puffy, you know, you've got saggy tits, all of it, guys. Because I've literally done it, all right? In lockdown. You know, I've done this because it was lockdown. I told myself I'm going to go on this crazy bulk. So I remember I had these two 10 kg dumbbells in my back garden, and I was just stuffing my face day by day, necking drinks, necking cans of Fosters in my back garden like a fucking loser. And like I said, I was just getting fatter and fatter, and I just looked horrific, guys. If I can find a video, I'll put it on the screen. I was necking these calorific shakes, eating these Rolo yogurts, all this, guys, just stuff in my face, frozen pizzas, fish fingers, you name it, I was eating it. And like I say, guys, you're just accumulating so much fat, all right? So many people, I know these fucking retards out there saying that they're packing on 2 kilos of muscle a week. Like, no, you're not, guys. No, you're fucking not. Don't be stupid, all right? Like, you want to be making sure you're in that low body fat percentage before even going into the bulk, all right? Once you've assessed your current situation, all right, you're knowing whether you're going into a bulking phase or a cutting phase, essentially. You need to go online now and go on, you know, a calorie calculator and just work out your maintenance calories right now. Right, figure out, assess that for 1 to 2 weeks. You know, see what the scale is saying. Yeah. If you are going into that bulking phase, if you are, you know, sub 10% body fat, and you're going into that bulking phase, you don't want to be eating any more than 200, 300 calories above your maintenance. All right, you don't want to be eating any more than that because, like I say, guys, people are claiming they're gaining 2 kilos of muscle a week. No, guys, it's not the case, all right? You're just gaining a shitload of fat. You're just gaining a shitload of fat. It needs to be a slow process. So, like I say, you want to be tracking, and ideally you want to be gaining about 0.2 to 0.5 kilos a week. You don't want to be getting any more than that. You know, any more than that, you're ideally packing on a lot of fat. No, or just fat in general. Like I say, it's just, you want this to be a slow game. Like, yeah, it's slow. It's very slow process, but trust me, guys, you don't want this yo-yo effect of doing these crazy bulks, these crazy cuts, and you're just going to look the same or just worse. You know, you want it to be a slow process. Enjoy the slow process. Embrace it, guys. Embrace it, all right? It's nice. It's nice when you're actually just looking at yourself in the mirror and you're actually still looking good despite being in the bulk. Do you know what I mean? So, like I say, work out your maintenance calories. Go into 200, 300 calorie surplus. And yeah, guys, and once obviously you stall, just slowly increase it. Everything. Just track it. Weigh yourself week by week. What's happening? Alright? Now from here, guys, well, you need to make sure you have a training plan in place. Alright? You need to make sure you have a training plan in place. If you're going into the bulking phase, if you're going into the cutting phase, whatever, you need to have a plan in place. And then from there, guys, I remember, 4 years for me, I used to literally just go in the gym and wing it. I'd, just get on any old machine that was free, and I'd just do a couple exercises and fuck off. No, guys, you need to have a plan in place. You need to know what's going on week by week. If you're progressively overloading, if the reps are increasing, the weight's increasing, and then it's a good sign, guys. All right, but you want to be assessing that you're progressively overloading in this bulking phase week by week. You don't want to just keep winging it. All right, going in, getting on all these different machines. You need structure, guys. That's another thing. Like, you need structure in your life. You need routine. All right, so like I say, follow a plan for 8 to 12 weeks. Don't just keep going in and winging it. And yeah, just ensure you're progressing. If you are progressing, that's a good sign, guys. At the end of the day, you're using this extra food for fuel. Yeah, you're not using it to indulge and overeat and go crazy with all this. You're using it as energy to just promote your lifts, to ensure you're gaining muscle and not fat. All right. You want to be checking your performance, seeing that you're progressively overloading week by week. And yeah, guys, next thing is cardio, guys. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, but I'm bulking, I don't need to do cardio. No, guys, you always need to be doing cardio. Always, all right? Like, just don't get rid of it. Yeah, you might want to cut back on it. Obviously, especially when you're trying to gain size or gain weight. But you need to keep it in there, guys. You need to keep active. It's not an excuse to just sit around, feel like shit. And that's why I go back to, this is why you don't want to be doing these crazy bulks, is because you're not going to have the energy to even want to do cardio. You're not going to have the energy to even want to move. You're just going to be so lethargic from all the food that's getting crammed into your stomach that you're not digesting it properly. And like I say, you're just going to feel like shit. You're going to be very demotivated and you're not going to do the cardio. So that's why you want to be in a slight surplus. You want to be obviously tracking your lifts, but you also want to be doing your cardio. You want to be fitting your cardio in, making sure you're getting your steps in, minimum 10k a day. There is no excuse, all right, guys. You need to be getting at least 10k steps a day. 10k steps a day. Again, I suppose it does depend on your job, but you need to keep cardio in, whether that be the bike, whatever. All right, always be moving, always be staying active. You never want to be, just because you're in a bulk, you never want to be you don't want to be just feeling like shit, all right? Keep your cardio in. And yeah, guys, now let's get into the good stuff, guys. Food. All right, what kind of food am I eating on this bulk? You need to be eating whole foods at all times, guys. And it's not just about calories either. You need to be hitting your macros. You need to get that absolutely dialed in. Timing is so important, guys. Meal timing. Where you're putting your carbs, where you're putting your fats, all this, guys. So obviously for me, and well, this should be for most people, I like to keep my carbs pre and post workout. But again, it's going to vary from person to person, depending on what sort of physique you're going for, the body composition, all of this, guys. It's all matters, all right? So, like I say, get your macros dialed in. And yeah, get your calories dialed in. But you need to be eating from whole foods at all times, all right? There's no excuse, guys, to go eat, all this shit, this processed shit, the Domino's pizza, the McDonald's, just because it fits into your calories. No, guys, no, all right? You want to be feeling good. You want to be full of energy. You want to be eating from whole foods, all right? I'm talking lean proteins. I'm talking veg. I'm talking good quality carb sources, sweet potato, rice, oats, good quality fats, avocado, eggs, all this, guys. You need to have this in, all right? You need the nutrients. You want to feel good. You want to be energized even during this bulk. And yeah, guys, like I say, maybe when the calories get super high in the bulk, as obviously it increases the calories. If you're someone that does struggle to digest food, then maybe you can start implementing in the low fat cereals, stuff like that. But nah, guys, like nah, honestly, like you want to keep it as, like, you just want to keep it whole foods. I'm just being honest, like I just like feeling good. I know, like, people want to feel good, and yeah, you got to keep whole foods in. But also, guys, like, yeah, energy, and you're just going to look better, guys. You're not going to be holding all this water retention, you know, all this inflammation from all these different foods. If you're just eating from whole foods, you're just going to digest it a lot better, all right? It's not going to be all this processed shit going into your body. You're not going to react to it differently. And that's why I go back to, guys, you need to be eating the same food every day, all right? You know, the same meal plan, ideally, most days. Maybe 1 or 2 off-plan meals during the week or whatever, but just keep it the same. Work out how your body reacts to certain foods. Really try and master that, guys. Really try and master how your body's digesting certain foods, and stick to the ones that obviously like it digests well with. You know, you want to be feeling good. You don't want inflammation. You don't want water retention. You don't want any of that, guys. Yeah, like I say, keep it whole foods. Keep it the best quality, organic, ideally, guys. I know people are going to be like, but the price, all this. Guys, you just want good quality food going in your body. You know, so many people going out getting smashed on the weekend, having Domino's pizza, having Chinese, spending 40, 50 quid on a Chinese on the weekend. Guys, you just want to feel fucking sick, alright? You want to feel sick, you want to look sick. And yeah, just keep whole foods, alright? I've briefly touched on this, but you want to be assessing your weight week after week. You want to be gaining 0.2 to 0.5 kilos a week, nothing more, because you want it to be a slow process, alright? But you need to be patient, guys. You need to be patient with it. You know, like I say, the long game is the short game in the long term. You don't need to be doing these crazy cuts, these crazy bulks, you know, the yo-yo effect, all of it, guys. That you want to actually just look good all year round. It's that simple. You want to be full of energy. But as well, guys, what I recommend doing, which is something I never done over the years, or I didn't do too much, I've never really done it, is track your progress through photos, all right? Week after week, take photos, assess what's going on with your body. You know, how's it looking? The composition, is it changing? Am I gaining too much fat? All this, guys, this is something I never really done. And people can call you vain or whatever, but after your workout, just take a photo, have a look, see what's going on. You know, record a video. Yeah? Assess your current situation, guys. Assess what's going on during this bulk, alright? But yeah, guys, like I say, enough of all this dirty bulking you see online. Cut it all out, alright? It's all a load of bollocks. Yeah, be intentional with it. Be patient. You know, it's going to be a slow process, but it's going to be worth it in the end, guys, when you're, you know, however much heavier that summer, 5 kilos of muscle gained in that year, however much gained across that year, you're gonna notice a difference. And like I say, you're not gonna have to be in that crazy diet phase for too long, because you want to gain that much fat, all right? So, and after this dirty bulking, guys, you want to be lean bulking all year round. You want to do it effectively. You want to be, like I say, you want to be only eating in the small surplus. You want to be eating whole foods. You want to be still getting your cardio, and you want to be progressively overloading. And like I say, just track your progress, guys. You know, track your weight, track your body, see what's going on. And yeah, guys, like I said, I hope you took some value from that video. Don't listen to anyone that says to dirty bulk. You want to feel good, look good, be full of energy. And yeah, guys,